Hi, it's Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot with this week's Learn Lenormand with me. And this week we will be looking at the birds. So as you can see in Titania's fortune card, she has an owl to represent the birds card in her deck. So this card is all about communication, phone calls, gossip, verbal exchanges, migration, and things of that nature. Expect this card to come up when you land a job interview and anything to do with sales. It can represent couples as well, and as well as siblings and small group gatherings. In fact, if you've got brothers and sisters, you'll find out that this card will come up a lot in your readings if you're close to them, or maybe if you're not. As a person, these people are very social and love a good chat. They're often involved in sales. They can be lawyers and mediators, and also could be involved in media careers such as TV and things like that. As this card is often represented by an owl and not a few or couple of birds, such as in Titania's deck, physically they can appear to have big eyes, small features with a slight build, that sparrow-like type of a build, and some people are flighty and have trouble staying in one place. Some of their health problems can be anxiety, scaring easily, so they're very, very flighty, eye problems, and throat and nerve issues. So, just think of anything, and I would even go as far as arms too, because, birds have got wings, so, could have problems with their arms as well, and, maybe like, I don't know, some tendon issues or arthritis or something like that. So today, itchy nose. So today, of course, we'll do a spread so you can sort of understand better how this card interacts with other cards. So as you can see, the focus card is the actual owl. And like I said before, sometimes you will see two owls in some decks. I think the blue owl Lenormand had more than one owl, if I can remember. I haven't got that deck anymore. I gave it away. But if I'm thinking, I think that's it. So the focus card is going to be the owl in this deck. So if you're looking at the past, you've got the fish, the child, and the fox. So this can indicate that one of your children is being a little bit fishy or a bit sneaky, I should say, when it comes to issues with money. Because what this could actually imply, that's because the child can be something that is small as well, so it doesn't just represent children. It could be something that's small and new. Perhaps one of your children borrowed a small amount of money, promising that that's all they needed, but then they keep coming back and asking for more. So what started off as a small loan of money has kind of increased. If you're looking at the present, we've got the ship, the owl, and the tree. So this can actually indicate, if you've got siblings or friends that are living overseas or interstate, that they could actually be on their way to visit you. Because the tree is underneath this, I would look this more as being family, because the tree can represent, the family tree. So at the present, I would feel like that there is some family or that's planning on a visit. If you go to the future, we have got the dog, the lily, and the bear. Now, the lily and the bear can indicate the law, the actual law itself. There was a really funny incident when I was very new to learning this Lenormand deck, and I was doing a reading, and I read that bit in the meanings of it, that it can do with a law. And as soon as I read that, there was a knock on the door and there was a policeman at the door. I kid you not. So, sometimes, with these cards, things happen really, really quick. So it could be that a friend of yours has gotten involved with the law in some way. Now, that could mean that they're in trouble with the law. It could mean that they even decide to become a policeman or policewoman as well. So, but there's something to do with the actual law in it. If you're looking at the top, we've got the fish, the ship, and the dog. Now, this can often mean when the fish and the ship come together, that your ships come in, that you're going to get a sum of money. Because the dog is there, and don't forget in the past that we had this, maybe a child or someone borrowed a small amount of money, it could mean that they actually pay you back, okay? So that small amount that got bigger and bigger, they've decided to actually pay it back. But it could also mean that a friend of yours has come into money, some type of money, and hence why they decided to come and visit you as well. What you're kind of dealing with now, we've got the child, the owl, and the lily. And like I said before, With the bear there, it can mean a matter of law, but often when the lily comes next to the owls like that can actually represent a couple, but an older couple. So someone, God, I hate someone like myself and my husband in their 50s or 60s or older, you know what I mean? But an older couple. And because the child is there, that could even represent that a new grandchild is coming as well, which actually is quite funny because we've got one on the way. My stepson is going to become a father for the first time next year. So, that's another thing as well. That's the news, that's the child news. Well, we already know that, but that can be something like that could represent a grandchild or something like of that nature, So that sort of is what's on your mind, or what you're dealing with in the middle is something to do with an older couple. When you're looking about what's sort of under control, we've got the fox, the tree, and the bear. Now, the bear on its own sometimes can ask you to be strong about a certain matter. Now, if you've got siblings or family coming to visit you, which the tree kind of looks like it is, there could be some that always have an ulterior motive, and that the fox is implying that you need to be on your guard because, you know yourself that they're a bit shifty. If you've got like a sister who is quite bitchy, you're going to have to be smart about it and on how you're going to deal with her sort of thing, or even him. I mean, let's face it, we can have a bitchy brother, couldn't we? I don't know. I haven't got any sisters. I've only got a brother who's 10 years older than me, and we always got along quite well. So, but, that's something that you might need to think about. So then we're kind of looking at the diagonal cards. We've got the fish, the owl, and the bear. And again, the bear and the fish together can represent a business opportunity. So here, the birds would be this nervous anticipation of this actual business opportunity, of this job offer as well. And because the fish is and the bear, it can represent can represent working in sales of some type of job like that. But usually it's a business opportunity. It doesn't have to be in sales, but that's one of the things. If you're looking at the dog and the owl and the fox, here it would indicate that there is a friend who is being a little bit shifty because the fox is there. They're not telling you everything. And if you're listening to your intuition, you probably realise that. You feel a little bit nervy about this friend of yours. And sometimes with the dog too, it's a friend that's from the past. So it could be someone that you haven't seen for quite a long time, and suddenly they've made a reappearance in your life. So sometimes it's, like a childhood friend or something like that, and they've really, really changed. There's something that's not quite right about it. Whenever the fox turns up, you've always got to pay attention to it. Just really trust your intuition when it comes to that. Then we kind of look for the confirmation cards. We've got the child, the ship, the lily, and the tree. Again, that would actually the child and the ship together can also indicate that your children or even grandchildren as well are traveling overseas or are overseas, or something is some type of travel thing is happening for them. But because the lily is there as well and the ship, it's definitely some type of business opportunity for them. And the tree being there, it could actually stem from a family business. So it could be a family business. So we've got the business opportunity coming up, the fish and the bear. And so it could mean that there's a family business involved here. The confirmation card is the bear. So whatever this opportunity is, you're going to have to be strong about it. You're going to have to be firm about it. And sometimes the bear can mean that you will be your own boss as well. So there's lots of different things happening in this particular spread that can mean a lot of different things. But what I'm doing is I'm actually consciously choosing the cards to put in this 9 card square, so you can see how I'm trying to give you as many different cards as I can on the different interactions. So we've got a child. It could be your own child, it could be your grandchildren. We've got the lily and the birds there that can represent an older couple. We've also got the bear and the lily, which can represent a businessman, can represent someone with the law. We've got a dog, can be an old friend. It could even be a new friend too, because you don't forget we've got the child there. Even though the way this spread is read, the beauty with Lenormand is that if something is catching your eye in that 9 square, and it doesn't matter if it's not anywhere, like here, it's not right next to the dog, is it? But this is what's catching my eye. So it could even be a new friendship, but there's something about this new friendship that you're not too sure about the person, hence that's why the fox is underneath it, you know, the child is sitting on top of the fox. So if there is a card, even though it's nowhere near the other cards, but it's pulling your eyes and you're thinking it's got a message for you, believe it, because it has got a message for you. So for me, it's kind of like a new friendship. And because the fish is above that too, you know, it could be that you've only known this person for a short while and they're trying to borrow money off you as well. So, you know, and this could, and because, even though it's in the past and it's the recent past, and the recent past, when you think of the recent past, it doesn't mean like, say, last week, okay? It could even mean the day before, because with the Lenormand, the things that happen, the things that get predicted in this particular, particularly in this particular deck, happen very, very quickly, if not on the day, like when I read about the law, and then the policeman was knocking on the door. I literally just got off the floor and answered the door, and there was a policeman at the door. So things happen really, really quick, very, very quickly. So even though I say the recent past, it could even be in the morning, you know, and it's in the afternoon that this happens, or in the evening. So don't just think of the recent past as being in a couple of weeks ago or something like that. Think of it as a very near thing as well. The same with the present. You know, it could be right now, the moment that you're, like I was when I was doing that reading. And the future, you know, it could be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a month, a week away or anything like that. So don't lock yourself into a box of thinking the past, present and future are very, very different time frames. Sometimes they all, you know, this might all happen in one day, okay? You might pull out this card, this spread, and on that day, you person that you've met, you know, or your child might ask for some money, or the new friendship that you only made a couple of days ago asked to borrow money. You know, things, time in Lenormand, I don't think there really is such a thing as past, present and future as much as it's defined in the tarot. It seems to all flow together. I think there is this thing about time, that there is no past, there is no future, it's only now. And I think the Lenormand sums up that the best, because it's very, very linear. It's very, very flowing. It really, really is. So I hope I've given you some ideas on the actual owl card, and you know, there's a lot of different people just in that particular spread. You know, we can have a boss, we can have a lawyer, grandchild, children, friend, you know, the whole lot, friend or foe if you're looking at the fox as well. So until next time, this is Tracy.